Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
Man, it feels great to be a Duck. Give it to me, baby. My house. I'm taking it there.
Their competitors, they'll want to put the O on.
Three, got it!
We're going to compete to a standard every day.
The Oregon standard.
Rebound, tap it in! 1 point more to go!
The opportunity to play, put Oregon on your chest, should mean a great deal to you.
Unloads on one into left field, back toward the wall, gone!
This program is staged to compete and to win championships.
Oregon wins!
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, let's talk Oregon athletics.
It's a busy Monday. We got volleyball heading to the Sweet 16 against Nebraska on Thursday. Oregon men's and women's basketball in action this weekend as well. And Oregon football, we know where the Ducks are going bowling. We're going to hear from head coach Dan Lanning, head coach Matt Ulmer, head coach Dana Altman, head coach Kelly Graves, all on the program today and tomorrow. Deputy Athletic Director Eric Rodell will be with us, and Matt Ulmer, we actually talked with him today because the Ducks are traveling to Louisville tomorrow, and we'll air it for you on Wednesday as a preview of Thursday morning's match for Oregon volleyball. The bowl season is officially here. It's also the first day of transfer portal palooza. Transfer portal palooza. And I know I see all the same announcements on social media that you all do. And, man, I'll tell you, it is a wild time in college football. I don't have a grasp of, like, how fast things are moving. And I will just say this. It's a relative calm in the Casanova Center right now. I have not walked over to the Hatfield-Dowling complex today. And I feel like every college football program around America, it's just different with the transfer portal and the upcoming signing day here in a couple weeks. It is such a fluid time in college athletics, and I really don't have a truly formed opinion on the whole thing yet. I really don't. I don't know like how it's all going to work out and what things going to look like. It's crazy. I really don't know how it's going to work. But at the end of the day, here's what I do know. Every student-athlete should have the opportunity to go and do what's best for them, and you hope that they're getting that out of the transfer portal. I don't know. So we'll find out what the roster looks like. Dan Lanning is going to give you some updates from his press conference last night. And, yes, I see all the same social media reports that everybody does. Dan Lanning met with the media last night. We're going to get to that. Holiday Bowl! Oregon has accepted an invitation to play in the 2022 Holiday Bowl. It'll be on Wednesday, December 28th at Petco Park. By the way, one of my favorite baseball venues. I have no idea how it's going to be as a football venue, but it's one of my favorite baseball venues. The Ducks will take on North Carolina, 9-4, 6-2 in the ACC, at 5 p.m. Pacific time on Fox. You know what that means? 3 o'clock pregame show with Terry Johns across the Oregon Sports Network. Ducks finished the regular season 9-3 overall, 7-2 in Pac-12 play. Came in at number 15 in the final college football playoff rankings that were released on Sunday. Oregon will make its fourth appearance in the Holiday Bowl and first since a 42-31 win over Oklahoma State in 2008. I remember that game. It was fun. Ducks also beat Texas in the 2000 Holiday Bowl, lost to Oklahoma in 2005. This will be the first ever meeting between Oregon and North Carolina. And you'll notice that North Carolina did not come in the final college football playoff rankings. Those rankings, Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Ohio State. That's your college football playoff. Followed by Alabama, Tennessee, Clemson, Utah checking in at number 8. They're headed to the Rose Bowl. Kansas State, USC at number 10, heading to the Cotton Bowl. Then number 11, Penn State, 12, Washington, 13, Florida State, 14, Oregon State, 15, Oregon, 16, Tulane, LSU, UCLA at 18, South Carolina, Texas, Notre Dame, Mississippi State, NC State, Troy, and UTSA, your final college football playoff rankings. By the way, tickets will go on sale to the general public at 5 p.m. for the Holiday Bowl. Visit goducks.com/FBTIX for more information. Many of you may have received an email already if you're a season ticket holder, Duck Athletic Fund donor. Make sure you check that email. Gives you a little bit of a head start as a thank you to our season ticket holders and our donors here getting ready for the Holiday Bowl. The 28th, headed down there for a lot of fun in San Diego. Awesome matchup. First time ever that Oregon and North Carolina are going to play. I'm really looking forward to it. The entire bowl schedule for the Pac-12. It's going to be an interesting schedule, I think, because it starts at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, December 17th, when Florida faces Oregon State in the Las Vegas Bowl. Then on ABC at 12:30, it's the Jimmy Kimmel L.A. Bowl. I wonder if Jimmy's going to be there. He's got to be, right? Got to be. Washington State playing Fresno State. That's going to be an interesting game. Really interesting game, I think, between Washington State and Fresno State. Because don't look now, but Jeff Tedford, they went on quite the winning streak. So Fresno State lost that crazy game to Oregon State in week 2, then lost to USC, lost to UConn, lost to Boise State. Then they rattled off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight victories, including the rematch with Boise State that was at Boise State, and Fresno State got the win. So don't look now, but I think Washington State, Fresno State, sneaky good game. Early odds makers have Washington State favored. Then Oregon and North Carolina on December 28th on Fox. On Thursday, December 29th on ESPN. Number 20, Texas. Number 12, Washington in the Alamo Bowl. On Friday, December 30th at 11 a.m. on CBS, Pittsburgh plays UCLA in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Then on January 2nd, Tulane plays USC at 10 a.m. on ESPN in the Cotton Bowl. And Penn State against Utah at 2 p.m. on ESPN in the Rose Bowl. Remember, with New Year's Day on a Sunday, don't want to compete with the NFL, so the bowl games like the Rose Bowl being played on Monday, January 2nd. Duck and Cider, by the way, will not resume that day. Instead, we'll resume on the 3rd because, well, we'll be watching the bowl games with you. I know the pecking order. It's okay. Everybody, I understand. Those are the Bulls. Let's hear from Dan Lanning, Oregon football head coach. We also have some news about Oregon men's and women's golf, Oregon volleyball. Busy show. Let's hear from the head man, Dan Lanning, talking with the media last night.
First off, I would like to start by giving Coach Ulmer and the volleyball team a shout-out for their success and making it to the Sweet 16. Obviously, for our guys here, extremely excited for our opportunity to go play in the Holiday Bowl against a really great opponent in North Carolina. I think that's one of the best bowls out there. And certainly have enjoyed getting the opportunity to go out there with this team one more time, this 2022 team, one more time and compete. We're excited. You know, our guys have kind of got an opportunity here to charge our batteries and really get healthy. That's what a lot of bowl prep's at. And also we're finishing up academically right now in the classroom. We want to do a good job there of finishing there the right way.
Dan, what was your reaction when you saw the post-game altercation with DJ Johnson, and what is the outcome of that situation? What's his status for this bowl game and with the program?
Yeah, first is just gather information. You know, we don't want to be a program that just operates based off of what we don't have, you know, and taking a deeper dive into that situation, doing some investigating on our end and really on the other side, you know, through a few avenues. You realize that DJ was in a moment there that he certainly wished he would have acted different, but something was said that was pretty extreme to him that, you know, some people might act in a similar fashion. So certainly not condoning the behavior. I know DJ wishes he could have that moment back. It was an intense situation, but those things happen at times. And I know that he would handle it different given the opportunity. But right now he's a guy that has the opportunity to compete and move on in the NFL draft and has put himself in the position to do that. I think he's going to take a chance to go to the Senior Bowl, but I don't want to speak for DJ too much, but I think right now he's in preparation for the draft.
Coach, at what point in the season did you know that Kenny Dillingham was moving on? And did that heads up give you a jump start on the OC search?
I think anytime, you try to be prepared for those moments all the time, right? When you hire really good coaches, you know that you're going to get great opportunities for them down the road. And one thing that I've said from day one is my goal, whether it's a player going on to the NFL or a coach in the opportunity to go on and be a head coach, you want those moments to happen. You want to hire good people and create moments like that for people. Obviously usually these things go really, really quick. I knew that there was always going to be an opportunity potentially for Kenny, and there will be for other coaches in the future in our staff, right? We're going to be a staff that has great coaches, so they're going to have an opportunity to get other chances. But that one really happened really quick towards the end of the season. It was rapid, but certainly we had a plan in place as we move forward.
Following up on that, Dan, just kind of what's the status of the offensive coordinator search? What's kind of the progress with that, and what are characteristics that are attractive for filling this position?
Yeah, it's going really well. I'd love to sit here and say I can tell you an announcement right now. I'm not ready to be in that position, but we are getting close. I feel that the interest in this job is obviously extreme, and you get an opportunity to be thorough and diligent as you go through that process and looking for opportunities to enhance your program. I'll also tell you that we have some phenomenal coaches here on our staff that are certainly qualified to be the offensive coordinator here. And that's something that we'll definitely, explore every opportunity here as we move forward and what that'll look like. I'm not going to ask anybody to come in right now and call the bowl game. Different from what we've done in the past. I don't think that's fair to bring a brand new coach in and ask them to call the bowl game when there's terminology and some differences there. That being said, Drew Maringer, Junior Adams, Adrian Clem, Carlos Lachlan, our offensive staff will prep us. Jordan Somerville will prep us as we move into the bowl game and be ready to take on the bowl game and compete with some of that same terminology and things that we've attacked this season.
Dan, what's Bo's status at this point? Is it looking like he's going to play in the bowl game?
Yeah, Bo's a competitor. He wants to get out there and play in this game for sure.
You just kind of touched on it there for a second with offensive coordinator search, but do you anticipate Kenny's gone? He's not going to come back and coach the bowl, and who is going to be the OC for the bowl game?
I think it'll be a collaborative effort with our offensive staff. I think Coach Maringer and Coach Adams will really take on the lead roles there. Again, they've both been coordinators in the past. We certainly have a staff that's qualified to do that. They've been a big part. I think Kenny would be the first one to tell you that they've been a big part of this process this entire season and the success that we've had on offense. And they'll continue to be that moving forward for us. So I see it being a collaborative effort with the offense, but Coach Maringer and Coach Adams really, taking kind of the lead role on some of those things.
Ending on such a tough loss to your in-state rival, just how have you really boosted the team's morale since then to get them excited about playing in a bowl game?
There's not a lot of teams in the nation right now that get an opportunity to go play to get 10 wins, right? And there's not a lot of, not every team in the nation gets an opportunity to go play in a bowl game. And this is a great bowl game versus a really good opponent. I think every one of our guys is anxious to get out there and do just that. You play for the love of the game. You play because you love football. You love to compete. And our guys want to get out there on the field and do that.
With the portal about to open tomorrow, Dan, obviously every program's got it. You've got guys going in. But in terms of areas that you're going to look to enhance, on paper, it would certainly look like edge rush, corner, and receiver would be areas you guys might look to enhance. Is that a fair assessment, or are there other areas you'd like to enhance?
We're going to look to enhance our program in every facet, every opportunity that we get to make our program better. I think we did a really good job this past season of bringing the right people into the program. I want to say we had maybe 10 guys that we brought in, scholarship guys that we brought in, and all of them were really big time contributors for us this season. So the goal is to find good people that fit the characteristics that we're looking for in our program, regardless of just position, and certainly you'll look for some position specific pieces, but I'm not going to limit our search to just a couple positions. We're going to look for guys that make our program better and that fit our culture as we move forward.
Christian Gonzalez declared for the NFL draft today. You've coached a lot of NFL players in your career. I'm just curious what you've seen from him from this year, from coaching him, and what you project from him at the next level.
Yeah, so impressed with Christian. It's I think Christian is experiencing now what so many of us saw in him when he first got here, and what he's a product of a great family, a product of a coach that did a really good job there with Coach Martin and our defensive staff, but really also a product of just a great young man. Christian has been elite in everything that he's done for our program. He's worked really hard to earn everything that he's got, and I'm really proud of him. And I know that he wants to be out there competing with his brothers, but sometimes those decisions have to be left to family members and other people that are looking out for his interest, and that being said, Christian's done a ton for our program. We're certainly grateful for his contribution.
Dan, just kind of following up on bowl opt-outs, are you aware of any other players besides Christian? You mentioned maybe DJ, it sounds like, that are planning on doing that, and kind of what an opportunity that provides for whatever players are going to maybe receive starting opportunities in their place in the bowl.
Yeah, the landscape continues to change right now. I don't anticipate any others. But that being said, things can change, and we'll be ready. Whoever's ready to go step on the field, we'll make sure we have 11 out there on the field ready to go compete.
Dan Lanning, Oregon football head coach. We've got more coming up. Remember, things move rapidly, especially in today's world. Coach talked with the media last night. We're here live at the 1 o'clock hour. Let's hear more from the Oregon football head coach when we come back on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCAA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. You get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container, because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider is presented by On Point Community Credit Union. My thanks for joining us today. Let's hear a little bit more from Dan Lanning. Every time we hear from Coach Lanning, it's brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Fight like a duck with exceptional cancer care close to home. Well, if you heard Coach Lanning there, Junior Adams, Drew Maringer will probably take lead roles for the Ducks in calling plays, running the offense for the Holiday Bowl. I think that's important. You know, those are guys that I guess are ascending a little bit and have some previous experience doing that. Group effort, though, with Kenny Dillingham heading to Arizona State to become the head coach. And I got to say, just my personal opinion, I really love what Coach Lanning said there that, you know, hey, this is going to happen, right? Like, if you have success, other teams and other programs are going to want to do what you're doing. That's what's happening for the Ducks right now. Let's hear a little bit more from Dan Lanning, Oregon football head coach, meeting with the media last night.
How do you envision tomorrow being with the transfer portal? Like, there's supposed to be rumors like thousands of players across college football. I feel like sometimes maybe that could be information overload, trying of seeing who's available and what fits your program. Like, how do you approach tomorrow?
At first, I guess the thing I would say is I wonder if you could go back however many months this first started, if this is what we wanted. Is this really what we wanted college football to be? And I don't know if that's a reality, right? That, what's tomorrow going to look like? I don't know that any of us really truly know, and you want to be prepared for it as a coach. We prepare for a lot of different scenarios. I know that it's at surface level, the intent, what the portal was intended to do, was really a great opportunity for student athletes. And now where it's headed, I don't know if that's the case. And I don't know if that's great for college football. That being said, we're going to take advantage of every resource that we have to enhance our program and make us better. And it's certainly helped us this past year. We're going to look for opportunities to, and help enhance us moving forward. So it's been really good to us. We've done a really good job of managing it. We're going to look for the right ways to manage it moving forward. What it'll look like in college football, I think tomorrow could be, certainly a different day.
Back to the OC traits for a second, Dan. One, do you look for a scheme fit and continuity in terms of somebody from the HUNH tree? Is that in any way a prerequisite or something you're really looking for? And how do you manage over the course of this week and however many more days or hours it'll last, and that in the absence of a hire, you'll have rampant speculation and names being connected to this that create false expectations that have no validity whatsoever. How do you manage that to your players now and your recruits when there's names being connected to this that have no connection to this at all?
Yeah, you had a lot of questions in there, James. I think the first one was something about HUNH. I don't know what that is. What we're going to do.
Hurry up, no huddle.
Gotcha. Okay. Learn something every day. Appreciate you, man. So no, ultimately this is the Oregon system. Like we have an offensive plan that we put together when we got here. That doesn't change when the offensive coordinator changed. There's some things that we believe in that we're going to carry as long as, I'm here. That's what we're going to have a philosophy in what we look like. We're going to be able to adapt moving forward. And that the traits of who we are, that's not really going to change. As you look for a fit, you look for somebody that brings elements to the program that you're excited about, some things that you can adapt, grow. Every year we're going to do a self-scout and evaluate what we can do better, find some things that we think are areas for us to grow. But college football changes every year. So if we came out and we ran the exact same offense next year that we ran this year with no changes, that would be a poor performance on our part. We're going to grow and play to the strengths of our players. And I expect whoever we have there in the offensive coordinator chair to do the same thing. You had a couple other questions there. I'm trying to remember what they were.
You're saying, how do you manage
expectations? I don't really worry about other people's expectations. What you do is you hire the best people you possibly can for the job. I know 12 months ago, there were some hires that I made that people weren't necessarily as excited about. And I think the results speak for themselves. We did really, things went really well. So people are going to write whatever they want. Here's what you have to know. I'm going to do anything and everything I can to make sure we get the best people in place for Oregon to be successful in football. And luckily here, we have the ability to go attract the best of the best. Don't really care what logo they have on. Don't care what team they're associated with. I'm interested in getting the best people. And when you get an opportunity to go get the best people, that's when you have a chance to be successful in the field. And you know what? Players know it. The minute you put them in front of them in the room, right? The minute you go out there to the practice field, they realize what good coaching looks like. And we're going to make sure that we have good coaches in place to enhance our program.
When it came down to it, you guys were likely going to get either one of two bowls, one on December 17th, the other on December 28th. Obviously, you got the later one with early signing period on the 21st. How much of a benefit is that for you guys to be able to not necessarily use that week leading up to early signing period, focusing on bowl prep and rather being able to recruit a little bit more?
Yeah. I think there's certainly could be some benefits. I don't like live in the world of hypotheticals of what would have been different. There's a lot of things going on for our players right now too. We're entering finals week. So we want to make sure we're doing a great job in the classroom. Obviously, it's a big recruiting week as well, and really weeks leading up to the 21st here as we move forward. So, but we're playing in the game in the Holiday Bowl, and we're excited about it.
I'm not expecting like an exact timeline, Dan, but when is a realistic and maybe appropriate time to have an OC in place, just with the signing period and all the uncertainty with the portal kind of going on over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, somewhere between now and when it happens. So, it'll happen when it happens. Don't worry. We're not going to coach with 9 next year. We're going to make sure we have 10, and we're going to be really good at it. I promise you. So,
I'm assuming Jordan's moving up to coach quarterbacks with Kenny's gone. Can you just give us your thoughts on him and just the impact he had? Most people don't know beyond probably this room who Jordan Somerville is.
Yeah, well, this is a great opportunity for me to shout him out. Jordan, along with a lot of our young coaches on our staff, Jordan has experience. He came here as a guy that was a full-time position coach in Division I football. He's done an outstanding job, and he has the respect and admiration of our players. He's done a good job in recruiting. He's done a good job with relationships, and he certainly is a good coach. So it's a good opportunity for him to be able to elevate, and excited to see what he does with those guys.
I know you've been on the road recruiting a lot, and then with the transfer portal opening, as a first-year head coach, just how are you balancing working on preparing for the future, but also with the guys that you have now that are going to be playing in this big bowl game?
Live in the moment, right? And have good people around you that can help you stay organized as you move forward, and always have a plan, right? So go to bed knowing what you're doing the next day, focus in the moment that you're at right now, but have a plan moving forward.
Who are your jack linebackers for this bowl game?
You'll see. You'll see when we go out there on the field. You know the guys on our team.
Just what's kind of your schedule up until the bowl game? When do you start practice? When does bowl prep work on the field actually happen for you guys? It's varied. We'll get a couple practices in. We actually got a practice in last week. We'll get a practice in again, a couple practices in this week. I'm leaving here for a home visit. We're going to keep it moving.
we've got every hour, every minute of each day kind of mapped out. And that's the way you have to operate at this time. You lean on people that you know that have done it before, and you adjust on the fly. So we'll have practices this week. The closer we get to the bowl game, the more it'll ramp up. Our players will get a chance to really take a small break right before we leave for the bowl site. We'll come back here, get a practice before we leave for the bowl site, and we've kind of detailed that plan out for our players. But goal number one right now, make sure that we're enhancing ourselves, getting healthy and stronger in the weight room, making sure we're taking care of our business in the classroom. And then when we do get the chance to take the practice field, we compete. And then as we get closer, we'll start to, continue to move to more practices. Right now, the focus is really just us. We're focused on Oregon. We haven't started opponent prep yet. That'll happen as we get closer to the moment moving forward.
There you go. A lot of stuff last night previewing the Holiday Bowl. December 28th, 5 o'clock kickoff scheduled down in San Diego against North Carolina. A lot of preparations, I think, for the future and about Oregon right now. It's finals week. Then I think really next week it starts to ramp up for the Ducks. Getting ready to then head down to San Diego over the holidays. Looking forward to it. This is a good opportunity for the Ducks against a North Carolina team that's a good program. Good coaching staff. First time they've ever played. I'm looking forward to it down in San Diego. We're going to get a timeout. When we come back, a tremendous honor for Oregon women's golf head coach Derek Radley. This is really cool. Also, talking Oregon volleyball. Going to the Sweet 16. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Toyotathon is on and here to help make the holidays magical.
You made it!
By helping you see friends and family both near and far.
Dealer inventory may vary. Toyotathon ends January 3rd. Participating dealers only. Toyota, let's go places.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
Toyotathon is on and here to help make the holidays magical.
You made it!
By helping you see friends and family both near and far.
Dealer inventory may vary. Toyotathon ends January 3rd. Participating dealers only. Toyota, let's go places.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, Joey Mack here with you. It is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield. Oregon football heading to the Holiday Bowl. So this was really cool. Our guy Tobiah sent in the old trading cards. We got them in the mail today. Mark Gregg, the center. Tony Graziani was the quarterback. Guys like Derek Barnes, Reggie Jordan, Mark Schmidt, Josh Wilcox, Kenny Wheaton. He's going to score. Pretty cool. Tobiah sent him in, and I have to have a little bit of fun here. Tobiah, thank you for doing this. It was really awesome of you. So I got it, and Rachel Doyle, actually, who is the head of marketing for Oregon Athletics, for some reason it was in her mailbox. I don't know the way these things work. But it said, Joey, #GetMadded, Mac. I did not wear socks and sandals, so I did not mat up today. We just made that into a whole new thing, didn't we? That being matted to wear socks with sandals. Yeah. But thank you, Tobiah. This was really awesome. And I know a lot of you probably still have these around. I'm so excited to compare these from 1996 to the new ones that are coming to Jackson's food stores here soon. You can find store locations all across Oregon, jacksons.com. But this year's team, trading cards. Pretty cool. It's coming soon. And I think the comparison is going to really be something. I think we're going to have to frame these and maybe do like side-by-sides. Like we need a pack of the new ones with these. Really cool, though. Coming to Jackson's food store soon. And Tobiah, thanks for sending those in. That's really cool. We're going to find a spot here in the studio to immortalize them. I feel like they might belong, well, that's off camera. But we've got all of the Tinker Hatfield designed like season ticket posters, if you will, over there. Those are a good time. I don't know. We'll find a spot. But it's pretty cool. The trading cards are coming back, and I can only imagine what they're going to look like. And how cool is that for a fan, right? Well, not only a fan, how cool is that for a player to see themselves on that trading card when they're in college? So I also want to share a story that Tobiah sent me because this was really cool. So he actually, I'm going to read it, what he wrote me in an email. He said he bought an entire box of these sheets at a yard sale about 10 years ago. And ever since, he had been giving them out to Duck fans whenever he could as a neat gift. Recently, he decided to post them for a sale on Facebook Marketplace because he had a bunch remaining. So Tobiah, doing yeoman's work as a Duck fan, okay? Well, he continued to say that there was a little bit of interest, and a gentleman contacted him about wanting to purchase a sheet. Just before he arrived to pick it up, he did a double take on the name and realized that it was Mark Schmidt. Mark Schmidt, number 54, defensive end, who's got himself a card in the middle of the sheet. Look at this. Mark Schmidt. Awesome. Okay, so we continue. Mark Schmidt, one of the former Oregon defenders, current Sheldon football coach, was featured on the card sheet. How about that? It's a small world that we live in. Pretty cool, though, huh? So Mark Schmidt was actually able to pick it up. Tobias said he gave him 3 sheets, didn't charge him. His daughter had lost his previous copy during a school project years ago. And, well, Coach Schmidt, you're back in business. Thanks to Tobiah. Great Duck fan. That's awesome. I love that story. Tobiah, thanks for sharing. Thanks for letting me share on the show because it was a lot of fun to hear about all of that. Meanwhile, Derek Radley. He has been named the women's head coach for Team USA at the 2023 Arnold Palmer Cup. Now, if you're not familiar with the Arnold Palmer Cup, and no, the Arnold Palmer is more than just a nice beverage, the annual Ryder Cup style event features college golfers from the U.S. and international, and their international counterparts. Derek Radley is going to be the head coach for Team USA. The Oregon women's golf head coach coming off that runner-up finish in the NCAA championships. Congratulations to Coach Radley. Might have to have him on the show. I think we're going to have to get him on in the offseason here. Also, senior Owen Averett was named the Pac-12 Men's Golfer of the Month for November following his medalist finish at the Cal Poly Invitational. Finished at 10 under 206, shared medalist honors with a member of the Ohio State squad. It was his best showing as a Duck, and it's his 3rd top 8 finish in 4 tournaments this fall. Just the 2nd Duck to be named Pac-12 Golfer of the Month since 2017. Congratulations to Owen Averett. Number 26, Oregon will resume on January 30th at the Southwestern Invitational down in California. Congratulations for the Ducks. Oregon volleyball got the sweep on Friday, held serve at home all season long. Ducks are 14-0 at home this year. Ducks will head on the road to see if they can do it on the road like they have been at home. Shout out to Duck fans for making it an awesome environment. Over 3,500 fans there in attendance. Number 9 Ducks on Saturday tied the longest winning streak in program history. Perfect season at home. A spot in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament next week at Louisville. A 2nd-round win in 4 sets over Arkansas for the Ducks. The Oregon women got progressively better. I really felt like throughout the match. They ended up at .613 for a hitting percentage. 0 errors in a dominant 4th set. They won convincingly. Let's go Ducks. was really awesome just seeing the environment at Matthew Knight Arena. And I'll tell you what, this is a volleyball team that is so deep and is so good that it's easy to take for granted how spectacular they are sometimes, particularly with a player like Brooke Nuneviller. But an incredible showing from the Ducks. And again, one more win would get them to the Elite Eight. It would also set a new program record for wins. A new program record for wins is possible for the Ducks, and a program record for a winning streak if the Ducks win one more. Awesome to see the environment at Matthew Knight Arena. The Ducks will play Nebraska on Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific time in the Louisville Regional. That's a long trip. Ducks will be making the trip tomorrow. We actually sat down with Matt Ulmer here in the studio earlier. We'll have that for you on Wednesday's edition of Duck Insider, getting ready for the Sweet 16. Oregon and Nebraska. Big-time matchup. Televised on ESPNU, and I'm happy to report that the guy from KWVA who was on the call for ESPN Plus, Knight's making the trip. Ryan Milano is currently directing the show right now, and Ryan was on the call with Knight all weekend. You heard him on the ESPN Plus streams. Ryan, well done, buddy.
Thanks.
Good work. And, you know, when you're doing the ESPN Plus broadcast, you're neutral. And I got to tell you, Knight and Ryan did a very good job of that. Now Knight's just doing the KWVA broadcast, so Voice of Oregon Volleyball, right?
Voice of Oregon Volleyball, no longer neutral.
That's hard. That's tough. But he's going to have a good time, isn't he?
Oh, great time.
It's going to be awesome. So Knight's making the trip. Pretty cool. Really an outstanding opportunity for the Ducks and an outstanding opportunity for Duck fans to go out and support this team. Any of you that are out in that area, try to make the trip to Louisville. If you're tuning in from the East Coast and want a quick getaway for an 11 a.m. local time start in the Louisville Regional, pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. We're going to get a timeout. When we come back, let's hear from Matt Ulmer, hear from Brooke Nuneviller, and hear from Gloria Mutiri post-match as they got it done at home. 14-0 at home. That's special. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union, onpointcu.com. Federally insured by NCAA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
This is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
We are back inside the Country Financial Studio. It is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Oregon volleyball continuing to just have a stellar season, hoping for the best. Heading out, it's a tough trip when you go on the road. Louisville, playing Nebraska. You know that Nebraska fans are going to travel well. They always do, especially for volleyball, one of the most successful volleyball programs in the country. But I like what this Oregon team's doing right now. And again, they're 1 win shy of a program record. Matt Ulmer, after the match, talking about a lot of things. What went well in the 4-set win over Arkansas? Ducks even started a little slow. Found their way in a pretty incredible 4th set. Matt Ulmer, post-match.
Yeah, I thought Arkansas was fantastic. I thought they came out and they played a great game. I mean, I don't know the last time we hit 0, and that all credit goes to them. They served us really tough. They played great defense. They're scoring from everywhere. Their outsides are excellent. Jason does a great job with their program. They're really well coached. So I think that was a great win for us. Love the environment again. Everybody brought it, and undefeated at home this year. That's a first and 15-match win streak, which is the longest in Oregon history. And I can't think of a better way for the seniors to play their last home game than what they just had there, and I'm just so happy for them.
Yeah, Matt, what was the difference between that first set, which you guys lost, and then just kind of picking it up and sweeping it out from there?
Yeah, I think we made a lot of interesting choices, I thought. Kind of like you're trying to do too much. I don't think we played our game very well. I thought we were it was like imposter. We weren't us. So I think we had to get back to that. Mimi, that was probably her worst set of volleyball since she showed up on campus. And she's a big part of us, and she's going to have those games. And I love seeing her bounce back after that, and I love seeing Hannah start going to her more. I thought she shied away from her when she needed, I think, get her the ball more, and she got into a rhythm that was big. And then I thought, Gloria's blocking. Their outsides are excellent. They have 2 very good lefts, and I thought Gloria started touching a lot of things and got in their head, and we started picking up some balls on defense, and our serving picked up. So a lot of things, but I thought they were great. We were not very good in the first set, and then we started to figure it out.
I thought their outside did a really nice job of kind of tooling the block a lot. So when they did that, you obviously came back and were able to put up a strong block, played great defense around them. But when those moments were tough in the huddle as a team, what were you guys talking about to kind of keep your head high and be able to bounce back?
Me? I would say, this is a very experienced group. And I think we did some things that were uncharacteristic. We weren't executing technically as well as we'd like to. I thought our hands were just laid on the block a lot. Some of that is the speed of the offense that they're running, which is, was pretty quick outside. But both of their outsides have really quick arms. So I think it just caught us a lot. We were just a little late with our hands. So just trying to make that technical change with both Hannah and Gloria. And I thought they both did an excellent job with that. So just talking, pretty calm. I may have raised my voice one time, but other than that, I think it was pretty calm. We're just trying to make some technical changes.
Matt, can you talk about going forward from here? Obviously, this weekend you guys were expected to come out of it. You were the favorites to come out of it, but going forward, probably not the same vibe going into next week. And what's your confidence level with this team going into next weekend?
We've been really consistent all year, and I think we played at a high level all year. Doesn't mean we don't have dips or we have bad sets or bad moments, but I think for the most part, this group is just very focused and very matter of fact in every point, and that's all it is for us. We just, you got to execute. You really got to play with major intensity. Nebraska is a very good team. Going to Louisville, again, in the preseason, we scheduled to go to the East Coast on purpose. And just get used to that, and you going and playing at Minnesota and playing some of the big schools, that the whole reason for that is now, so that if we're fortunate enough to go play Louisville on that time zone against those types of teams, and then Omaha back to back, that we've done it before. It's not something new that's new for us. So, I think we've prepared ourselves the best we can. This group needs to just absolutely believe in themselves and trust that they're very good. And let's see what happens. But go play our game, and we need to just stay aggressive and do what we do.
That was on Colby yesterday, Chiari and Colby today. Did you get out of that kind of rotation, that pairing, almost it felt like what you wanted?
Yeah, again, this is the first time that Carson, Chiari, and Colby are all healthy at the same time. Reagan's still out, but Carson wasn't feeling well today, and I thought she was doing fine, but I just thought we need some more energy, and Chiari's pretty good to just be sitting there, as you saw, so, kind of made that change, and then wanted to get Colby in that M1 spot, so we dialed that after the first. I think that was the right move, and Chiari was awesome. That was huge for us. Colby was great yesterday. Colby did a great job again today, but they were definitely the two that we needed today, and and Carson handles it well. She's a great leader. I know she wants to be out there, but I love the interaction she has with her teammates and how she supports them so that they can come through and we can have this win.
So Hannah went on an 8-0 serving run in the second set. So was that the momentum switch for you guys that you guys needed, or was it another point threat?
I'm a big fan of that. That was really good. We really they're a good passing team. I think all three of their passes are very good. It's hard, a lot of times there's like one person or some rotation where you can get after them, and that's not the case with them. So you really have to execute a high-level serve to get them uncomfortable. And Hannah went back there, and she did that. And I think, just a little doubt. Just putting a little pressure on them, getting a little doubt, just making them not as confident. At the beginning, they could do no wrong, right? And so you just want them to doubt a little bit, and then we get a little bit of momentum. We get the good feeling, and then we start going. So, yeah, that was huge for Hannah. I thought Elisa Gee was amazing. Big scoring runs time and time again. So I think we had a few people that went back there and did that, but Hannah started that off, yep.
Knowing that, you had the fans behind you tonight, that probably helped you guys come back and get the win. Knowing that you're going to be going on the road this next week. If there's anything in practice that's going to help you be prepared to have that little bit of push, not have MKA behind you, what would that thing in practice be maybe?
Getting healthier. Yeah, I thought we really battled the last 2 matches. We weren't feeling very good in a few different positions. So I'm proud of them, for how much they want it. I won't divulge any information, but if I could, you guys would be really impressed by their character. So I think if we could have a few days of rest, I think that'll help us a lot. Again, they're tested. They've been on the road. They know what it's about. So now we just got to go perform. But if we get feeling better, I like our chances.
Matt Ulmer, Oregon volleyball head coach. They're a confident bunch, and they should be, and I love that. They're not cocky. They're not arrogant. It's a confident bunch from this team right now. Matt Ulmer, those were his comments from the press conference. And then Brooke Nuneviller and Gloria Mutiri. They also, you saw him if you were watching a little bit when Coach was answering questions and Karen pan over to him. Brooke Nuneviller and Gloria Mutiri talking after the match. And you can imagine some emotions for them, right? Now they know. Senior night, they were pretty sure it wasn't going to be the last time they played at Matthew Knight Arena. This was the last time they played at Matthew Knight Arena. Pretty special stuff. Brooke Nuneviller and Gloria Mutiri as the Ducks are advancing to the Sweet 16.
You talk about that, just trying to be impactful in the block, and did you start to get a sense that you were impacting them and the way they were trying to do things as the match progressed?
Yeah, I think it's like what Matt said in the first set, just a little late, a little undisciplined. So into the next sets, I was really focused on just trying to stop the ball. We have a great floor defense, and so just trusting them, doing my job.
You and Mimi had 6 kills, 8 errors in the first set, 28 kills, 4 errors the rest of the way. We've talked all year about how deep you guys are and how many weapons you have, but also, you guys are the leading hitters. Was there a sense, hey, we gotta start carrying our weight here?
I think for me personally, those errors came from trying to do too much in the worst opportunities. Like, I think I was scoring very well, but then I would just, when it's not a good opportunity, it's out of system ball, I'm off balance, I'm trying to hit the ball really hard, and it gets in the block, and I get stuffed. So it's just not the best option. I think I started trying to do too much when and make up for too much when I just need to do my job better. And Mimi, I would say the same for her. I think she just needed to get some nerves out, and then you saw her get in a rhythm, and she's Mimi Collier again. But for us, yeah, it's just making better decisions in those tough times.
What about that fourth set? Can you just talk about the sense of, obviously you guys closed it out strong. Could you feel it during that fourth set that you guys are going to put it into it?
Mm-hmm. Everyone was just doing their job very well. Again, like I was saying, we're not trying to do other people things. We're not trying to take other balls. We're not trying to block other people's balls. We're not trying to block the ball when we shouldn't be blocking the ball. But I just think we are all just really, really steady. I think the nerves were out by then. I think we found our rhythm, and like Matt was saying, we just played Oregon volleyball better at the end.
Glow, over the last 3 sets, I thought my notes were right. They called timeout 6 different times to break up runs of yours, and 5 times you guys scored the next point. To me, that just seems impressive. That, they're obviously trying to break momentum, and you kept it going through that break. Just what was the sense of how much momentum you had and why you were able to keep it going through those stoppages?
Yeah, I think it's like what Brooke said. Everyone was just doing their job. We were, we had them down in a rut, and no one wants to be the one to let them out of it. So, I'm going to be aggressive with my hands, and then I know everyone behind me is going to be doing the same thing, aggressive in their job, and that's what builds points and builds momentum. And then now we're playing Oregon volleyball, and it's just fun.
Looking back at the loss in last year's tournament to now, after losing that first set, being able to come back and just really bring it in the fourth, just how much, I guess this is a question for all of you, just how much has this team grown in a year?
Take it.
I can start. I think this team is just we're really going for it. I think since we started from preseason to now, we've just been so focused, and we have a board with all our goals, and we have all the games set up, and we're crossing them off one by one. So yeah, we've just been really disciplined and been grinding the whole season. And I think that's made us confident in each other. And so now it's not like, I mean, we don't care who we're playing or who's across the net. Like, it's kind of just about us.
Mm-hmm. We have so many weapons on this team, defensive, offensive. Our serving got better as the match went on. I just think it makes all the difference in the world to have so many different weapons. I mean, the other team really can't scout and stack on one player with this team because we'll just have another player do well on their job. So if one thing opens up for one person, they're going to take advantage of it. I just think, like Glo was saying, our culture is so strong from 1 to 16 and including our coaching staff. So, I mean, you see it in our eyes in this tournament every single time. We're always gritty. I never doubt that. I never think we're going to lose with this team because I look at each other's eyes and everyone is just on the same page. Even when we weren't playing very good in the first set, I wasn't worried going into the second set. I had faith that Mimi would bounce back as she did, and because they always do. They always just find a way, and that's what grittiness is. So if we keep that up in the tournament, which I know we will, I think we can find success.
I think Glo and then Brooke, just the emotions of today, knowing this is going to be it, playing here. Did it bubble up much? Did you have to fight that much? Were you able to kind of keep it in the back of your mind and not let it become your focus?
Yeah, we reminded each other that before the match. We're like, wow, this is our last game in the MK. But I feel like that was perfect. Like, it was never a pressure or anything. We're just celebrating that and enjoying that. I feel like this team has worked so hard, and I feel like I say this a lot, but this is everything you could want from a collegiate career. And so, yeah, it was fun, and it was just amazing. You know, we had a great time, and 14-0 at home, so I say it's successful.
In the fourth set, I definitely took a deep breath and listening to all the students cheer and the community just coming in and just taking in everything that Eugene has brought this year. And so definitely had to hold it in a little bit in the fourth. But I went up to Glo, I think, set point, and I was like, let's go, let's finish, you know. And so couldn't have asked for a better way to finish.
That's awesome. A couple seniors that have really done a lot for Oregon volleyball, and now here's hoping they're still playing for a few more weeks, huh? Sweet 16, 8 a.m. Pacific time on ESPNU. Oregon facing a good Nebraska team in Louisville in the Sweet 16. I'm looking forward to it. Quick timeout. When we come back, men's and women's basketball, both in action this week. Let's talk about it next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Duck fans! Jackson's is a proud sponsor of Oregon football. And this holiday season, we have the perfect stocking stuffer for the Duck fan in your family. Oregon football trading cards. The cards will feature your favorite Duck football student athletes, so collect them all to complete your set. Be on the lookout for these cards coming soon exclusively to your local Oregon Jackson's food stores. Visit jacksons.com for store locations.
Jackson's. Let's go.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, our all-inclusive event pricing allows us to take care of all of the details while you enjoy your event. Our wedding garden, expansive grounds, ballroom, and meeting rooms can accommodate any size event and come complete with full catering and service staff. From weddings to business and social events, Shadow Hills offers the benefits of a resort atmosphere and the peace of a country setting just minutes from downtown Eugene. For more details, call us today or go to shadowhillsevents.com.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic, safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider is presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Cafe Yum, 2-minute drill. Let's take a look at Oregon men's and women's basketball. Should we call it the 2-minute drill like a football analogy when we're talking basketball, or should I come up with something better, like the Cafe Yum shot clock, the 30-second shot clock, 2 minutes of game time? I don't know. The Cafe Yum 2-minute drill, menus at cafeyum.com. Big opportunity for Oregon men's basketball on ESPN, and, man, they were right there. God. Felt like at the end of the first half, I was like, all right, UCLA's not hitting threes. Ducks playing pretty good D. Low-scoring game. Wasn't as much of a low-scoring game in the second half. And the game changed when UCLA had scored 21 points in the first half, then scored 14 points in, like, the first 4 minutes of the second half, hit their first 3 of the game during that stretch. It was like, oh, shoot, okay, UCLA's counterpunching. Now, that being said, the game may have turned at that point, but Oregon was in it until the Ducks went cold at the end. Brendan Rigsby, gosh, he had 2 good looks, just didn't go. You feel like for a guy who'd been out for a month, has only been playing now again for like a week, those are going to go in. Unfortunately, didn't. Had one that could have tied it and I think would have changed the course of the game. But the Ducks end up falling 65-56. And the rebounding battle, first time this year really that the Ducks have been beaten bad on the boards. I thought that was the difference in the game. The rebounding, 36-25, the advantage for UCLA. Offensive rebound, 16-5. Big reason why UCLA attempted 64 shots and the Ducks attempted 49 shots. You just have that many more opportunities, and you're probably going to win the game, and UCLA did. So I said this on the postgame show, and we won't have time today to really do a full deep dive on men's and women's basketball, so come back to the show tomorrow. We're going to do it tomorrow in addition to our conversation with Deputy Athletic Director Eric Rodell. But I feel like, okay, so this men's basketball team plays UCLA on December 4th, one of the early games. The Ducks will then host UCLA on Saturday, February 11th. Remember this game against UCLA at Pauley Pavilion from this weekend when the Ducks play them in February. I think that that's going to tell you a lot about how Oregon's season is going with player availability. Ducks are still without a few starters. Where Oregon's at in the standings, if they have a chance to make things interesting. That's going to be telling, I think. Meanwhile, Oregon women's basketball, huge win over Portland. Love that. Love that. 90-51. Gosh, the Ducks were good. Every starter was in double figures. A 33-point quarter for the Ducks. One shy of the 34 they scored in Colorado in that wild game a few years ago. Good for women's basketball. Again, deep dive for hoops on the program tomorrow. Stay sane, everybody. See ya.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell trouble. They can spell risk if taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, harm if accidentally taken by a child or pet, or